Welcome back. It's day 3 of our Scrappy zipper pouch sew along. So this was the first one that I made as a sample. And then this is what we've been working on together for the last 2 days. And now we're on to day 3 and we're just going to put this together. The first day we made the Scrappy panels and we did some quilting. Yesterday we put the zipper in. Put a zipper in. Aren't you so proud? And wasn't it easier than what you thought it could be? I mean, this is my favorite way to put in a zipper. I just love this method and it works so great every time. So now today we're going to finish this up. So I'm going to turn my camera around so you can see what I'm doing because I want you to see everything. Now, the first thing I'm going to straight and all lined up because in our heads it should be, right? Because we cut it all the same. We stitched with a 1/4-inch seam allowance all the way around. But as I look at my lines, like I look really, really close, it's not all quite perfect. And we're not striving for perfection. But what we want to do is just even it up because that'll end up with a better end result. I mean, I'm trimming off maybe 1/8 of an inch over here. Nothing got trimmed on that side. So we just trimmed off this little bit. We're going to do this all the way around all 4 sides. Just to make sure everything looks good. Now, because this is the edge that I trimmed, I'm lining up this edge along my cutting mat. And then I'm going to use my rotary cutter. And I like to look at the lines on the acrylic ruler and the cutting mat. It is important that you get quality measuring tools because not all of them are equal because sometimes measurements are off. And so that's why you want to make sure your tools, as far as measuring goes, are a better brand. You know, there's some things that, like the rotary cutter, does it really matter which handle you buy? No, it really doesn't. The blades, as long as they're sharp, the brand doesn't matter. The tools for measuring, don't get knockoffs for those. All right, so here I am. I'm just lining this up again with my grid. It looks like this side here, we've got just a little bit of excess. So I'm just going to trim. Nothing trimmed off that one. And now this is the other side. So we're really just squaring this up to make sure it's as square as it can be. If it's a little bit off, it's not the end of the world. Okay. That will just help give us better end results when we're all done. So this is squared up. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to trim out the corners because we want to have a boxy bottom. That's what this is here. This is called a boxy bottom. Now, if you wanted to make just an envelope pouch, that's where your bottom is just as flat as the top, and it's just more like an envelope. When you have the boxy bottom, it will kind of stand on its own like that, and then you have just a little bit more room inside. So you can do it either way. If you want to just do an envelope bottom, you don't want to mess with the boxy bottom, you wouldn't do this next step. But we are going to do boxy. So I'm going to take my corner cutter. Now, how this little tool works, these are on our website. They're linked in the description below for you as well. Here is 1 inch. Here is 2.5 inches. 2 inches right here where my thumb is. And this one is 1.5. The reason I like to use this is because I can lay this in any corner and mark it out. And it's exactly 1 inch. Can you use a ruler to do that? Sure. This is a nice to have later. It's not a must have, but it's a convenience tool. You could take your ruler and you could draw a line here and then you could turn it and draw a line there. So either way, just mark 1 inch out of all 4 corners. I'm going to use the corner cutter and my marking pen. I'm just drawing a line in each corner. So you're meeting the edges up to get, so the raw edges. So the edge of the corner cutter And then you get this perfectly 1-inch square on each side. We're going to do that on all 4 corners. Then take your scissor. You're going to cut through all layers right there. So you just cut up and across. Don't cut deep into your fabric. You just want to cut this corner out. Now, the next step is to sew everything together. Now, the first thing you want to do before you sew the rest of this together is open your zipper at least halfway. I like to go about halfway or a little bit further so that this, you don't want to go all the way because then this is going to possibly get into your seam allowance and you might hit it with your needle. You want to have it open enough that you can at least get your hand in there because when we go to turn this right side out, that's how you do it. So make sure you open your zipper. Now, I will say if you sew it all together and you forgot to open your zipper and it's closed when you go to turn it right side out, because I've done this, you can use your finger on the back side and you can wiggle it all down and try to get it open enough to push it down with your hands. I've done it. We've all done it. So next up, you're going to put your exterior pieces together. And now you want to match up the corners that you cut out. Clip in place. And then you're going to do the same thing with your lining. I always start with like just clipping down by the corners. Now on the lining side, you're going to mark about 3 to 4 inches somewhere in the middle. I always use my hand as a measurement because I want to get my hand in there because this is the other part of turning it right side out. You have to leave an opening somewhere. So leave it in the lining because once you sew that closed, you won't see it. Where if you did it on the exterior, it would be visible and you don't want that to be visible. So I just mark so that I don't forget. That's where I'm going to start and stop my stitching. Now, let's address this part where the zipper is. What I like to do is push these pieces together. So you're matching up your edges and your zipper is going to kind of want to fold back. You want it to fold back towards the lining. So give that a good clip there, here, however many clips you need to use. Do that on both sides. Now, if you were doing an envelope closure, you would do all of these same things. You would not have cut out these corners and you would sew from here over, around, and back here, and you would still stop and leave this opening. We did the boxy corners, so we're going to stitch those up just a little bit differently. Now, we're still going to sew all the way around. We're not going to do anything with these corners just yet. So I like to start right here at that first line. You know what? I'm going to put my regular foot on, though. That's still my zipper foot. I'm going to use, I have a 1/4 inch presser foot that I love to use because I use that as my guide when I line everything up. All right. Just sew to that edge of the little box. Don't worry about these edges not lining up perfectly. It's okay. Backstitch beginning and every time you stop. Now I can feel the zipper and I can feel that it's pushed towards the lining. You're not even sewing over that. I can see through my fabric. This is where that zipper tab ends right here. I'm going to sew right past that. You don't want to sew through the zipper tab. So if you do need to cheat it over just a little bit, as you're going over that. If it kind of moved on you and you didn't have as much clearance as you thought, you can do that. So we just went right up and over that center section. And then we're going to back stitch and just leave that boxy corner open. Go all the way across this front bottom. Okay, we're approaching that zipper tab, same thing, just kind of note where the edge of it is. You don't want to sew through it. Right on past it. One more little stitch here. And we're going to stop at that line. And I like to make sure we still back stitch here, because that way when you turn things right side out, your stitches don't start opening up on you because you're putting a little pressure on there. So now we have the boxy corners. So you're just going to put your fingers in there, open it up, and you're just pushing your bottom seam and matching it up to the side seam. So we've got our little seams matching. Fold those over. You can clip it if you want to. It's a pretty small space. Make sure it's laying flat, and then just turn it, tuck it under the needle. 1/4 inch seam allowance again. So you sew from corner to corner. And it looks just like that. We're going to do that on all 4 sides. So again, here, I just kind of put my hand inside, and you just kind of pop that corner open, match up the seams. And I like to let, one go one way, one go the other way. And I try to make sure that they're going the same direction. So these two for the bottom are both going towards me. I'm going to clip that, hold it in place as I get it situated under the needle. And the biggest thing here is just make sure there's no other fabric underneath any of that. So we've gone from edge to edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This is the side with the fusible fleece, so it's a little bit more bulky, but the process is still the same. You just open that up. Push that down. Because of the fusible fleece or the batting, it will kind of hold its shape even better. That side, and now this last one. That's why I didn't use a clip, because the lining is just kind of holding everything where we want it to be. Not the lining, sorry, the interfacing. The fusible fleece is a type of interfacing. So now, this is what your pouch should look like. So guess what it's time to do? Turn it right side out. Now, take that opening, and hopefully you left it big enough to get your hand in. If you didn't, it gets a little bit tricky because you're pulling all of this through that opening. So I'm moving that zipper. I'm opening it even further because you can't see in there, but my hand, this is right where the zipper is. So you need to be able to have your hand go all the way down here to the bottom of the pouch. So now I'm going to grab this corner, and I'm just grabbing it with my fingers and my thumb, and I'm going to pull it right through the opening. I'd rather leave that opening hole just a little bit bigger, because then it's easier to flip things through it. Okay, so now I'm going to press out the corners. I've just got my fingers in there, and I'm just pressing with my fingers. The corners pop out just like they're supposed to on both sides here. That, and then we pop out the zipper, and you can see we didn't sew through that end of the zipper tab. It's just got a little bit of an opening, which is totally, that's how it's supposed to be. Now here's the other side. We're going to do the same thing. We're popping out that corner. Now before we get any further, we're going to do the same thing on that lining. We're going to pop out the corners. then you put your fingers inside there like that. It's going to kind of force the raw edges of the lining to just fold in. So they just naturally wanted to just go right inside the lining because we've already stitched part of it. And I just use a couple of clips, and I note I need to start at just a little bit before and end just a little bit after. And we're going to sew this part with 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. You're not even going to see that line. It's just a tiny little closing stitch. It's even less than 1/8 of an inch. Like, I'm just right on that edge. You can see there is just a tiny little stitch to close all of that up. And now you tuck it in. And what I like to do is use my fingers and push the corners together on both sides of the lining. Now we've got a nice square bottom. I push the lining down away from the zipper. It all looks nice and neat inside there. We're done. Look at that. This is how you want the tabs to look at the end. That's why you don't sew over them. And that's also why, even though we're sewing with 1/4 inch seam allowance, you move these in 1/2 an inch because it gives you enough room to get right past them. And then you don't have anything hanging off the side. These don't get sewn in and all funky on the ends. This is my favorite way. I'm just trimming off my little threads. But that's it, you guys. We just made Scrappy zipper twins. I've got 2. This one's just a little bit smaller. So remember, when you're making this, the 4 pieces just need to be the same size to make the pouch. And then your zipper is 1/2 an inch smaller on each end than the width of your pouch. I hope this was helpful. This is what we do every single month inside the Sewing Squad. I teach a class just like this. It's all in one day. It's not broken up into 3 parts. Our classes are generally under an hour long, but every month in the Sewing Squad, our members get an exclusive pattern for that month. And then I show them step by step, just like what you watched here, how to make the pattern. So I would love to have you join us. We're celebrating our 3rd birthday of the Sewing Squad. I can't believe we've been around for 3 years doing this. We have over 500 members in our community. Our members are wonderful. And if you've ever looked for a community of people that you want to be able to sew with, and I mean, I know it's all virtual, but still, it's like we have this wonderful group of people. We have a community page where you can share your work. You can leave each other comments. The page is completely private. It is only open to members. There are no quilt police allowed in this community. Everybody is truly so kind and super helpful. We also give our members 20% off our website all the time. So all other patterns, everything we sell, everything we make. And also my community is just so special. So they get a special Instagram page where they get access to me all the time. They can ask me questions. We can do demos in there, whatever they need help with. I'm there to help with, answer any questions, and just, casual chit chat. They get early sneak peeks pretty much to everything going on inside the business. I share all kinds of stuff there. So, it's just a really, really special place. And I can't believe it's been 3 years. We're going into our 4th year of this, and I just love it. It's my favorite spot on the internet, and so many others that have been in the membership. I mean, I have several members who've been with me since it started, and I just cherish each and every one of them. And it's just such a fun spot. So I'd love to have you join us inside the Sewing Squad so you can get access like this. Let's make things together, patterns. It's so much fun. So sign up. The link is all in the description for you. Everything is there. If you have questions, leave them below. I'd be happy to answer those for you. But I'd love to have you join us for our 3rd year inside the Sewing Squad.